All right. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Occupy Pro Wrestling Live here on the YouTube channel. We are here for a special edition with our reactions to the WWE Royal Rumble 2022 edition. I'm Alex Smiley, as always. You can find me around here on at Alex Smiley Plays. I'm joined, as always, by my pals and comrades. First up, Chris, aka T-Bone is Live, and James, aka the Titan Dog 70. Fellas, we sure as heck had a Royal Rumble tonight, didn't we?
We did, and I had an echo. That was great. So we're already on the right start here, going live. All right. Hey, so it is, at least for me, it's 12:30 in the morning, but it's same for you. We're East Coaster. I have over a foot of snow outside behind me. I think. Oh yeah, it's like up above the window at this point. No, I mean it's like it's up. It's like a foot or so. It's great. So I got nothing but time for WWE and the Royal Rumble. Been looking forward to this for a couple weeks now, just because the Rumble is a special event. So I thought we'd go ahead and start and talk about the Royal Rumble. I don't know, Alex, are we playing the thing? Hit the thing.
Nope. We're not playing that thing.
Not
We're doing the thing
We're
in
not
post.
playing the thing.
All right. Don't play the thing.
We're just going to get right into it.
Don't thing today.
All right, not playing the thing. That's okay. Sweet. So let's talk about both the women's and the men's Royal Rumble, because I think, the three of us and with some other people as well, we do talk during the show. It's not feasible for us to record a video during the show because that's insane, plus copyright and all that stuff get taken down. But we had, I think, kind of similar things to say about both Rumbles, perhaps, in terms of the way it was structured and the eventual winners. And so I wanted to start with, I think, the biggest thing, and that's the winners. So for those of you who don't know, spoilers, Ronda Rousey has made her triumphant return to WWE and has won the Women's Royal Rumble. And then Brock Lesnar lost the WWE Championship to the almighty Bobby Lashley, and then entered the Royal Rumble and won the Royal Rumble. So, that was the thing that happened. Talking to some people, not so excited about Brock Lesnar winning, mixed on Ronda Rousey winning. But this is OPW Live. We're positive about it. I think it's okay. I think these wins are okay. So first off, I thought I want to put that out there. I think Ronda Rousey and Brock Lesnar winning the Rumbles are okay. Thoughts?
Yes. No, I agree. They're okay. They're okay. The issue is, and I said it before in the chat, and I'll say it now again here. For Ronda, she didn't need it. Ronda did not need this. If you followed for the last, I don't know, month or so, 2 months, where they were going with the story, Ronda did not need that. She's Ronda Rousey. Mm-hmm. We already know she's legit MMA champion. She's already had that run a few years ago. I don't know, it was not last year, but before pandemic hit and everything. She had the run where she was champion for almost nearly a year. Showing only match she ever lost was to Becky in a triple threat match, or technically a triple threat match anyways. So she does not need the Royal Rumble to win to get a shot at the title. All she had to do really was just show up either on Raw or SmackDown and go, I won the title shot, and she would have got the title shot. That's not hard. I mean, all she had to come up and go point at the belt and walk away. It's like, oh, Ronda Rousey's back. She wants the title shot. That's all you had to do. It was easy. Yeah. That's so easy. But no, with the Rumble, usually when you're supposed to use the Royal Rumble is to build a new star. You had plenty of them. You had Sasha Banks. You could easily want to get back to Sasha. That's not a problem. Sasha's coming off injury.
She's
not new, but she is fan favorite.
To put that caveat there.
Yeah, Liv Morgan. Who had a great match with Becky at day one pay-per-view. She's been on the cusp of being that champion there. You're building something off her. You can have her win this, and you can have her challenge Becky, and that's it. You could still do the Ronda coming on SmackDown and challenge Charlotte. Liv upset. You can have Liv upset Charlotte, get the shot. She challenges Becky, and then Becky's like doesn't have a challenger. Ronda, well, doesn't look like I'm gonna be having anybody at WrestleMania. I wonder who. I have someone in the back here. Come on, who? I'll take the first person that comes out to the back. I'll challenge them wrestling. Then Ronda's music hits, and you're like, she's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
like you could have done that. And that would have been.
I mean, people would have been upset about Charlotte winning too, but it would have been unique having the women's champion win the Rumble. I will say is that there's been a lot of drama the last 2 years about WWE trying to get Ronda back, and Ronda saying she's bigger than wrestling and doesn't need this. I think the only way she agreed to come back was the fact that her lifelong dream is to win the Royal Rumble. She talked about it while she was still in UFC about wanting to win the Royal Rumble. In fact, as we were setting up this video, I saw that WWE had posted a video with that title saying Ronda Rousey dreamt of winning the Royal Rumble. So it just gave more credits to my theory there.
So,
Alex.
So I can look at the pitch. So I can look at the pitch meeting. We want you to come back to the Rumble. Am I winning it? Yeah. Okay.
That was probably it. It's like I'll come back if I can win the Royal Rumble.
Oh Lord.
Right. Like if you have that leverage, use it.
Yeah,
only,
I mean, I'm not
five
mad
women's
at
Royal
her.
Rumbles. She's one of 5 winners now, so.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at her. It's low hanging fruit.
Right.
That's the thing. It's low hanging fruit.
So
Alex,
I do want to get the one thing about my feelings on the way that the Rumble ended out of the way real quick. Y'all know me. I like to stay on the bright side as much as possible, almost to a fault. I gotta be honest. I was a little deflated with Charlotte and Ronda being the final 2, but that aside, it's fine.
I'll be honest, I thought the Women's Royal Rumble had a lot of good moments.
Oh yeah, that's the thing though. That's what's funny is that aside for me, I enjoyed the Women's Rumble quite a bit. At least purely from the number of times that someone coming back, whether or not they were a surprise, and how much fun that was. For me it was little.
Yeah, right.
For me it was little things, and maybe not so little things. Let's talk about Mickie James coming in with Hardcore Country as her theme, showing
that's historic.
The Impact Knockouts Championship. The little things like that were nice, but
yeah, I mean, I was actually surprised about the music.
Historic.
I figured she'd come in with the title and be announced as the Impact World Champion, which she was.
Yeah.
Or they don't really make announcements actually.
No, yeah,
the commentators called the Impact World Champion. She got to bring the title.
And it was in the graphic.
I was surprised it wasn't Mickie James' WWE theme. I understand, obviously you want to promote as much as possible, but I was a little surprised by that. I'm gonna say compared to especially compared to the men's Rumble, the women's Rumble was fun. Because we had some surprises, we had some legends, which is I think that's really kind of it's okay to have those things in the Rumble, and I thought for the most part, except for one exception, the Rumble was very well booked. I think the one thing was Sasha Banks going out so early. Sasha Banks is a plausible winner, and this is going to take us into the men's a little bit. You have to have plausible winners in the ring at most times.
Yeah.
You can't have, at least one, right?
Two.
If you're going to have...
Which 1 to 2 in
it doesn't even have to be
face.
one face and one heel. Just one plausible winner in the match to make it relevant. So for the men's, the first plausible winner entered at number 21. So the first 20 were irrelevant. Now, I know AJ Styles is great, but he is not a main eventer right now. So, and he was... Yeah.
But here's the issue. He got thrown out,
No,
though.
he lasted about 30 minutes. He was
before...
fine. He can't... No, he got
thrown out before Drew, didn't he?
So, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so the women's was nicely paced, except for the Sasha thing. We had returnees, we had some great moments. Even the women who don't normally get to do stuff like that to shine. Aaliyah was in the match for quite a while, and I like Aaliyah from
I do too.
There's something about her that I like, and I can't put my finger on it. She has a slightly unique look in the fact that she is a woman of color, but it's different from Sasha and Bianca Belair. Hard to explain that, but she was fun. Dana Brooke did more wrestling in that match than she's done in her entire main roster career, which is sad, but unfortunate.
Really like
Even the spot with the chauffeur dude. Oh gosh, what's his name? Help me out here. Don't leave me floundering.
What? Who? What?
Her chauffeur.
Oh, Reggie.
Thanks.
Yes.
Reggie.
Oh,
Yeah,
Reggie.
Fucking Reggie. Yeah, that was a great spot.
Oh, I called that. I called that spot. Reggie. What Reggie does good is he catches. He's a good catch. He can catch. He's done that before. He's done it before. And he's done that. He's going to do it again. The man knows how to catch the ladies. He's good with that. He's good with that. And I was like, oh, they're going to do that spot. And he did. He did his job.
The Bellas didn't overstay their welcome this time, like they've done in past Rumbles.
Oh, the Bellas caught some heat though. There's the places I go that I was chatting to during the match, and the Bellas were the ones that eliminated Liv, the Morgan.
Well, because they got Liv and Sarah Logan.
And Sarah Logan, which I was so happy to see Sarah Logan.
I hope they signed her back.
She's a Viking. I hope they sign.
I'll be honest, they can sign a lot of people who showed up. Like, they can sign Cameron back. Like that was fine. Like Cameron wrestled the best sequence she's ever wrestled in her entire career. Kelly doesn't need to do that anymore, but like Cameron did the best she's ever done. Dana's done the best she's ever done. Aaliyah's been the best she's ever done. Sarah Logan probably wrestled the best sequence she's ever done in her career as well. And that's partly because of the way they book women in like 3-minute matches. You give the women time and they do fun stuff, you know? And so they gave a lot of people fun stuff. Ivory doing Right to Censor.
You know, I know who thought of that. I bet you it was Ivory.
I bet she wanted to do that.
I bet you Ivory was the one
going after Rhea Ripley.
I bet you she showed up and goes, you know what? I'm not going to be winning this. You know what? Let me come out to Right to Censor. Let me have a little fun out there.
I'm already thinking like I don't have as many fun moments to recall from the men's Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that's
kind of what
the issue. This issue that I had.
Like as we talk about the men's real quick, like Bad Bunny was fun.
Yes.
And that was like the only fun the Royal Rumble was.
That was
maybe a Moss elimination I think was kind of fun too, with Chad Gable setting up Damon Priest and then everyone eliminated him. Like that was fun.
You don't need to do with that though. Damien, no need to do with Raw with that. Damien needs to be pissed at Chad Gable.
And that's fine. What they do going forward is fine. I was just saying,
that up.
I'm just trying to talk about, as a Rumble watcher, what was fun for me, what was memorable.
Yeah.
And there's only 2 moments that really stand out to me, and that was the Omos little sequence there and Bad Bunny's awesome wrestling and the Bunny Destroyer. Oh, I guess Johnny Knox taking some real bumps too was pretty cool.
I would legit give respect to Johnny. He took
some real bumps.
Shots.
Yeah,
they stiffed him. They stiffed him. They say
Actually, I do have one more moment from the men's Royal Rumble now, and that was when Omos stopped Ricochet's heart. my chest hurts still.
Yeah.
My chest hurts all that.
Gosh, it happened. I'm like, did someone shoot a gun outside? Like that's what I did. I went.
It sounded like a gunshot,
right?
And then they were like, and then Ricochet's like he just fell over.
Ricochet felt like he was shot. Like he felt like he'd been shot. He just died right.
So great job, Omos.
Yeah, he went.
Like, my gosh! Oh my gosh!
But I felt bad. You're right. The thing, and you know what the thing was? The women had the legends come, and the men did not. They didn't have that surprise. They didn't have that guy. That surprise. They didn't have the old legends show up.
They didn't have that. I mean, Shane McMahon, the best wrestler in the world.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
Best wrestler in the world. So
he won the tournament, Alex.
It just didn't feel like you said, it didn't feel like there was a contender until Drew showed up. They're like, oh, this is a legit contender. They stacked the people you thought were going to win.
I do want to point out, I was legitimately surprised by the Drew entry, because that was like the big, like the thing going in was that like Drew had gotten
his injury is legit, but it's not like threatening. It was, I think it was like a small injury, so it was just a matter of whether he was available now or a couple weeks from now.
Exactly, but I think that was
where his timeline was.
Yeah, like that was like that was one of the biggest surprises for me. The biggest surprise was definitely Bad Bunny, and like to almost
Bad Bunny Destroyer
to almost the same extent.
Look at the title down there.
To almost the same extent, it was freaking Shane McMahon. But yeah, hey, while we're on that topic, let's talk about that destroyer. I would call it Canadian destroyer, but we were definitely
No,
not.
it's the Bad Bunny
Yeah,
Destroyer.
we're gonna call it the Bad Bunny destroyer.
It's
Let's
Bad
talk
Bunny
about
Destroyer.
that for just a second, because holy crap, that like we'd seen it before, but it's always fun to see that kind of thing.
I mean, it's all Matt Riddle there, but
Hey, that's fine. It's a two. It's
But
basically.
hey,
I
Yeah.
don't
I give
care. It was
respect
great.
trying
It
it.
was it was it was
Takes two to
definitely the
tango.
pop of the night. I
I think so too. Yeah.
Notwithstanding maybe what happened
Yeah.
during Roman and Seth, but definitely the big pop of the night.
I feel bad for and coming off that Bad Bunny story. You're great. I feel
Yeah.
bad for Kofi. He got too much height off it. Normally he could
Yeah,
do
it
that
was-
spot
I
in
mean,
his sleep.
It was unfortunate.
And I
We
think
actually
he
saw
got-
two
I think when
two
Cole-
botched
when
eliminations
Owens
because
pushed him-
Shinsuke fell off the top rope
Yep.
really early on in the match.
Yeah.
No, he was
I don't
no,
think he
he
was supposed to go
fell.
out that
Like
early,
it wasn't an
Yeah.
elimination. He was like hanging
Yeah.
onto the top rope and then he just slipped and fell.
Yeah.
AJ didn't
And
even
then
touch him.
Kofi got so high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Kofi got so high that it knocked the wind out of him.
He didn't
when
get
he
enough
landed,
distance.
it knocked the wind out of him. Yeah, he didn't get distance. Usually when you're supposed to do that, I think you're supposed to do that. He's supposed to stay low so his feet can catch
He just gotta like get
feet
the
can
chest
catch
to the top of the wall.
Yeah.
wall. Yeah. No, yeah. Usually he wants to go kind of
I mean, it's a tough
sideways
spot
so his
because if you
feet
go
would
too
catch
far,
the
you're gonna
wall
get run
and they get
hands.
held there.
So
He got so high that when he landed on chest first, and he couldn't. His feet didn't hit the wall till after he hit the ground. So it was just because he got so up high. Usually when you want to go kind of sideways, so he can kind of hit the side wall and then hang on to you with his hands, and he kind of can hang like that. That's what happened. So it's just one of those things was mistimed, and I feel bad because they said there were supposed to be some spots with him and Big E. I think he was supposed to be one of the.
I don't know if he would have been
3 or
lasted
4.
long
He
because
was supposed to
they
be
just
like
kind of threw
5th.
Big E out without any fanfare, which was a shame. Like if Big E was not
Yeah,
going to
'cause
win, and I
there
picked him
was
to
spots.
win, then he should have been like the Iron Man. Like put him in at like 4 or 5 and let him run 30 minutes. At least he's the former. It's
Yeah, I think
they're
it's supposed to
doing the
be
same thing with Big E they did with
some
Kofi,
spots
where he's the
going.
former champion. And it's like, whatever, man. And it's really frustrating because
Yeah,
he's so good.
and see that's what it goes into, and that segues us to what we talk about Brock. Brock is another one that didn't need the win to get a title shot.
All Brock has to say is,
Brock
"I'm
already
Brock,
had
I
a
want a
built-in
title shot."
story
Yeah.
with Roman.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has a built-in story. He already has a built-in story. He just got screwed. We'll talk about that match later. He just got screwed in the match. He lost, but he got screwed.
Yeah.
He's already been having beef with him for the last 3 months?
Well, I mean, they were
How
supposed
long
to
have we
like
go back?
like
SummerSlam,
they were
Survivor
supposed to have a
Series.
match at day one, right?
They were
The
supposed
match
to.
didn't happen, and there was a reason why.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we had Brock winning
Yes.
the WWE title that same night. And this kind of comes off the back of what I was saying on Thursday
Yes.
when we had our predictions. This was why I had this weird feeling about the title versus title thing. Which I'll be honest, I'm glad we're not going that route. It would have felt a little too weird to go that route. I'm kind of in agreement where I don't think Brock necessarily needed the win, but at least
Like it's fine that he
He didn't
did.
need
yeah, it's
it.
fine
but
that he
He didn't need
did.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
He didn't
I
need.
mean,
They could have
I
done.
will
They
say
could have
that
done like I said.
it
You
was
could have done
interesting to
Big
see.
E.
It was interesting to see who was like alongside him as the final two. Like it was interesting to have him and Drew be the last two in this case.
I mean, that was a good final.
Yeah, that was a good
all
final
things
too.
There was.
I mean,
the men's
that's
Royal Rumble. I think
strategic.
suffered
That's
most from
kind of
pacing in
average.
that the plausible winners, which are only like what, really 3 or 4. Like Drew's a plausible winner, right? Big E's a plausible winner, or should have been a plausible winner.
Maybe
Orton, I guess, is a
Orton.
plausible winner. It's his hometown.
It's his hometown. Yeah.
I mean,
KO,
Orton and KO are like
Kevin Owens
borderline
plausible.
plausible winners. Like, hey, something crazy happens. Okay, sure. And then Brock, which is fine. You don't need to have that many plausible winners, but they need to be spread out in the Rumble. I think, and I'm going to quote from Johnny Rebel here, a friend of the show, that the men's Royal Rumble really showcased the lack of depth that WWE has. In that, really, the first 2/3 of the Rumble, nothing of like importance happened. Right, because the only spots that happened were like the Johnny Knoxville thing, which is not important because Sami Zayn because Johnny Knoxville's not a full-time wrestler, so Sami Zayn's storyline with him is over. Shinsuke unfortunately got eliminated too early, like by accident, so there's no further in the story with him and Sami. Damian Priest was eliminated pretty early, so there's no further in the story with him. And who's the number one contender right now?
Madcap?
Oh gosh.
No, Corbin. No.
No, I know who
They
it is.
said
No,
it too. They said it
who it
too.
is.
I forgot.
No, I don't. James is on SmackDown.
Sheamus.
Whatever, whoever it is, and I do apologize to this person that their name is just blanking to me.
Forgot.
But like they weren't even like near each other in the Rumble.
Yeah. That's true because of what happened to Nakamura. Sammy comes in. Nakamura's not there.
I know, but
Sammy's
Sammy had
number
a
one
storyline with
contender
Johnny
for
Knoxville anyway, so I don't think they would have too much done with Nakamura. It was more like the Priest thing with his number one contender.
Maybe Nakamura would have been the guy that threw Sammy out.
And then there's really no other ongoing storylines in the men's division right now, other than like Happy Corbin and Drew McIntyre, which is good, and they resolved that. I'm glad about that.
No, Corbin. Well, they're heat magnets, like you said. You told me
they're
heat magnets. They're the guys.
They can do the really showcase the lack of depth of what's going on in the men's division right now, because there's no storylines to further in the Rumble. Like there's tons of storylines in the women's Rumble, because they started. Because even though we kind of like laughed at like, oh, Liv Morgan is suddenly number one contender. Oh, Selena Vega is the queen and is winning titles and stuff like that. Like even though those storylines are really underdeveloped because they don't give the women a lot of time, at least there was storylines to develop and move forward. You saw what they with Naomi with Cameron, like that was great booking with Cameron.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Naomi Sonya thing is a very developed. She's abusing her power. She has to have this grudge against Naomi, and she seems to be abusing her power.
Beat her up. Like that was great. So the women's stories were advancing, whether they're developed or not, and the men have no stories to develop other than maybe the tag titles. So.
And you just hit on the core issue that's happening with the main roster on the men's side. They're not developing the.
I mean, there's storylines. It's just all revolving around the top right now.
Showcasing, but they're not. Yeah, they're all revolving the top. They're not doing anything that's underneath the midget and the lower guys. They're not giving them a chance to run the stories. So then you come in there and you see as bare bones is laid out in the Royal Rumble. There's just nothing there for them. There's no. They're just opening and winning.
Let's go ahead and move on. So pause. Let's talk about the two title matches. So I mean, we had of course the women's title match, which I think went as expected. With Becky and Doudrop, I think it was a great match. Glad that Doudrop got that. It's a great match. Showcase. We're not going to talk about that tonight, and I thought Miz and Edge and Maurice and Beth Phoenix was also a fun match. But the two matches I want us to talk about and what we're going to focus on as we play some sort of graphic here in post, I'm sure. Haha. I'm really making this bad on you for production's sake. Let's talk about the title matches, the Universal title and the World title match. So let's start with the Universal title because we've already alluded to it a little bit and the outcome of it. The almighty Bobby Lashley challenging the WWE champion Brock Lesnar. As you all know, since you're watching this video, hopefully, and are watching it after the Royal Rumble, Bobby Lashley, the almighty Bobby Lashley, is your new WWE champion, and I love it. Really glad he won.
Yes.
That's fine.
Kind of messed me up on.
Kind
of messed me up on predictions. But I was happy to see him win it back because, like especially if they were going to continue the story of Brock and Roman feuding, it made more sense for him. Like it made more sense for them to involve one title than, especially the crazy theory I had before about. Whatever, But yeah, Bobby winning it back was nice. It opens the field, and to be honest, the fact that Brock won the Rumble, and is obvious, we know where that story is most likely gonna head. It opens the field wide open for challengers to Bobby Lashley.
Well, I mean, what's gonna happen is Elimination Chamber.
Well, yeah.
Probably
Bobby's
Elimination Chamber.
Yeah,
we're having an Elimination Chamber.
Unless they that's what they're doing. They've done that.
Yeah, they do that every once in a while. But yeah.
Sometimes they make the champion defend. Sometimes they do a number one contender. So it just kind of depends on what they're feeling year to year. Which I would love to see him defend it in the chamber. It's Chamber's a cool match.
They're not gonna do that.
On the chamber before.
Oh no, I would if this was in U.S. This was on U.S. soil. Then yes,
right.
Yes, this is in Saudi. Yeah, it's a number one contenders match.
Yeah, either
Winners
one
gets
could
a
work.
shot
I
in
do a
it.
title match.
Yeah.
There's no
That's what they're doing.
like, even though us as fans kind of like discount the Saudi shows, WWE clearly wants to treat the Saudi shows as real shows.
Oh, of course, but they would sell it as number one contenders. He might have a
Like,
title
there's
match
options.
with
Like,
somebody.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
there's precedent for both.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't say that one or the other is going to happen.
But overall, with the match itself, I like the pacing. I like these two just legit badasses, and they were trying to one up each other with suplexes. And you had, Lesnar throw his suplex, and you have Bobby throw his. I could do the same thing, and it was really well done, and I like that. And then what I liked, and I know it came with the dreaded ref bump, but the ref bump actually felt, let's just say, wasn't forced. It felt like it
I
happened.
actually didn't realize the ref bump had happened the first time. I obviously the second one was telegraphed, but the first time in the corner, like, oh, there's a ref bump, and I didn't notice it until they replayed it. So that was a really good ref
That's
bump.
why I said it worked. It worked because it was one of those where they were just jockeying for position, and the ref like kind of misjudged where they were going to go, and he went to the corner. He got smashed in the corner.
Match, like just
it was
a
that's good. That's what's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed
the
to be.
Referees,
look at the referee, look at the match.
And
suddenly, I saw
supposed to make him blend in.
And he did. He got smashed in the corner, and what it is smashing him in the corner, put him out of position when Lashley sets up the F5. Because now he's kind of disoriented. I got hit. I got crushed under 270 pounds of Bobby Lashley. He's not thinking straight at this moment. F5, feet to the face, and that takes him out of the ring. So that works. And then I will say this, and this is probably one of the best uses of the ref. It's been a long time since they actually did this. They timed that ref coming down almost near perfectly. It makes sense because ref's down, nobody comes down immediately. It's like someone tells one of the refs in the back, hey, the ref is down. They're in the back like catering.
Is what you're supposed to imagine.
Yeah, they're in the back like they're catering or something. They're eating. Yeah, that's how it works because they're in back. Like say they're back in catering. They're getting something. Hey, they're not working. Hey, hey, what am I doing? They're back. They're probably eating some food or something. And then someone comes running. Hey, ref's down the match. We need someone else to down.
You're thinking about it
takes them about 5 minutes to get there. That's what I like. I like
Alex.
I like to fill in those blanks. I want.
It
feels realistic to me. Okay?
Like that. Yeah, that part of it was fine. And this honestly, it was a good, solid match. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
No, that's okay. Then let me throw this at you. Let's talk about the other match that happened, which is the Universal title match. Roman Reigns defending against Seth Rollins, which, if you predicted Seth Rollins to win the match, you were correct. So I don't think anyone did. He won the match.
This is true. Yeah,
he won the match. It was by disqualification, but he won.
Yes, this is correct.
What I wanted to compare first, and then we're kind of working backwards here because I think that was another excellent match, is comparing Roman Reigns after his match with Seth versus during/after the match with Brock and Bobby, and kind of like how they presented him. So, we did see during the match, Seth Rollins laughing at Roman and pissing him off, and that was during that match. Mm-hmm. But I think kind of the big thing is like how Roman changed. He did get the disqualification because he kind of he choked Rollins for like a solid minute and a half or so.
Mm-hmm. And refused
well beyond the 5 count.
Yeah, and refused to let go when he had exactly the whole thing.
And I thought the commentary actually did a pretty good job. Like he's getting revenge for the Shield thing finally. Mm-hmm. Which he's gotten revenge for the Shield thing a couple of times, but
it's fine. Yeah, within the scope
of
this
match.
Don't worry
about it. It's fine. He can get revenge for it forever.
No.
It's fine.
But no, here's the thing. And here's the thing. I'll let you get out. I'm sorry. Here's the thing. This is the first time you see Roman kind of just snap. I mean, after almost every other match he does, he's kind of cool, collective. I'm the coolest guy in this ring. I'm the chief. But that's you can say DB and Edge. He beat after.
He had snapped like at Daniel Bryan's last match.
Yeah.
But here, you get this feeling that something's changed. He's not the controlled. It's not controlled as, let's say, the other things. 2, Seth almost is near perfect.
I want to stop you there because go back to the thing. It's like he's controlled. That would be true, but then we saw him, reunite with Paul Heyman ?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if the story is as calculated, the Paul Heyman thing. I think we all agree, and we had said this in the chat, that was probably the day one finish.
Yeah,
that was the day one finish. With the last that was the day one finish.
So, and my read was it, because we were all talking about it, and my read was different. I thought, okay, well, Paul Heyman's just following Roman Reigns because he's scared of Roman Reigns, and everyone was like, no, he's following him because he was with Roman the whole time. What are your thoughts about that, Alex?
I don't know. It's tough to gauge because I'm just like.
What was your initial reaction to that then?
Okay, my initial reaction was honestly, I think, because the biggest question you would have to ask in that situation is who would Paul be more afraid of, Roman or Brock? I think, because he's had.
I mean, in that moment,
I think he's probably more afraid of Roman,
right?
like enough to be like, yes, here, have the title. You go ahead and hit Brock with that title to do the thing, And then I think
that part makes sense to me because, like, regardless of whether this was a plan all along or Heyman's afraid of him, like, of course he's gonna hand over the title. Heyman's not a wrestler.
Yeah.
It was the following.
Exactly,
Roman
following him back to
that
the thing. That adds an interesting wrinkle.
So some people read it as, they were in on it the whole time, and I read it as, he's really scared of Roman and is following him out of fear.
I think this is.
I mean, you could read it like that.
I think that particular wrinkle is something that we need to see how they follow up on SmackDown and on Raw and whatever else.
Yeah.
See how they follow up on it, because
the fun is in speculation, though.
Well, yeah, okay. As far as the speculating goes, it's hard to say either way. But that's what's so intriguing about it to me. There's a question mark there, and it's nice to have a question mark that that there's at least a chance that they'll actually answer, because that's the one thing WWE that's one thing that WWE is often guilty of, is putting a question mark and then never answering the question. But this is a story that I'm intrigued to see how they answer.
Unless Heyman leaves the company, then he's not going to let that happen.
Yeah,
so luckily,
no. Don't you put that evil on this whole thing?
Here's the thing with the Heyman thing. No, here's the thing with Heyman, though, and the reason why we're so suspect of that is because there's precedent.
He's done this before. What was your initial reaction when it happened?
My initial reaction is, I agreed it was probably a day one.
I know that, but
in
terms of in the kayfabe, was he with Roman the whole time?
In the kayfabe, he was with him. This was a mastermind plan by him. Heyman cooked this up with Roman a little bit back. He cooked this up. He's been cooking this up for a while, and Roman played the part of, I'm going to fire, because the reason why you can say is you can look back and go, just suddenly Roman turning on him that quickly, that fast, like that, was a little too convenient at the time, you could say. So my initial reaction is, yes, this was part of the plan, but and he followed him out there, because it wouldn't make more sense if he did that to stay there and tried to get in Brock's good grace and go, I had to do it. He was going to kill me. And then, because you still have Brock there, why am I afraid that he's going to hurt you when you have Brock there still? You can hide behind Brock.
Right, Brock was knocked out.
So then Kim going with us. So still take the hit from Roman. Stay with Brock. Show Brock you're loyal. Hey, he beat me up. I gave him the belt because I was scared. And then after he beat me up, I'm sorry. And then Brock's like, yeah, okay, I get it. No, he walks with him and everything because now here's the only thing you could say. What's he expecting afterwards? Is he's going to be protected? Because he knows the man's going to kill you now?
I'm really curious to see
if
he advises the tribal chief again, or is Roman Reigns going to punish him for going back to Brock in the first place? So
I think they'll probably be with the thing. He'll say, hey, we cooked this up. My tribal chief understood what we were doing. Everything we did, I did for him, the sacrifice, and he understood. He knew.
Yeah, we'll see.
They'll probably go that way. But they're going to go down to this. And I think the original day one plan was supposed to be they were going to have him turn, and then Roman was probably going to try to injure him.
I think it would have been the day one finish. Hit Roman.
I think they were going to do that.
Hit Brock with the title, pin Brock, that kind of thing. And maybe Brock.
Yeah, then maybe Roman afterwards they all dump him and they tried to put him on the shelf or something and take him out. Yeah, then he shows up.
Let's rewind all the way back to the beginning of the show, and that was Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, which I think we all agreed was match of the night. I don't think there was anything.
Match of the night.
It was wonderful. From Seth coming out to the Shield music and walking through the crowd like Roman Reigns did for years, not only as the Shield, but Roman did it until this latest run. He walked into the crowd, right? Right up until becoming the Trial Chief.
And he was laughing maniacally.
I know you like to keep calling the Joker.
He is the Joker. He's playing Joker.
Fine. I'm not arguing with you.
He even showed his. Even on SmackDown, he's wearing Joker purple.
I'm sorry. I just want to interject and say I love that entrance so much because I was like, oh my! As soon as they started playing the music, like holy, like the chant, I was like, holy, we're doing the thing.
Yeah. And the crowd became.
He even walked through the crowd.
Hey, there was a couple of like Seth Rollins near falls that I thought, oh, Seth Rollins is just gonna win.
Right.
Like they're just gonna make the story. I guess the one thing I'm disappointed about this pay-per-view now is I want Seth and Roman at WrestleMania. Fuck this Brock thing. Let them blow it off Saudi. Let them blow that off at Saudi Arabia.
I want to see a rematch. Yes.
I want Seth and Roman at the main event of WrestleMania. That was great. Like this match needed another 20 minutes. Like it needs like a like Hell in a Cell or something. I don't know. Not Hell in a Cell. Seth is bad at Hell in a Cell.
No, the way it was paced was brilliant. It was paced that Seth is literally in his head. And not everything he tried to do, Seth is countering. Everything Seth is doing is getting it. He's almost pulling it off. And then it flips and Roman is starting to decimate him. But Seth is showing that, he's Seth. He's still the guy that's beaten Brock Lesnar. He's the guy that's done it. He's the guy that's hard to put down. He's hard to kill. And you're getting to that point where, damn it, Seth is hard to beat. And then you can see the crowd just kind of just flip to Seth's side. Seth's the heel.
So we're the face, but it doesn't matter. I actually took some notes on this match because at the beginning of the night I was actually watching.
Notes. You know the match is.
The reason I took those notes, I want to remember this because I was saying. So at the beginning of the night I was watching the pay-per-view with someone who doesn't watch wrestling, and so we watched the first match together. And
I know
and so he doesn't understand like the significance of everything. Like I'm reacting to like, oh gosh, the near falls, the Shield power bomb, the fist bump thing, or Seth laughing. And I told him, I guess I'm gonna tell everyone is I cannot describe in words what the ending of that match meant. It's just like you have to have 10 years of wrestling knowledge to understand what that match meant. And there's just no other format of storytelling, not movies, not TV shows that you can do that with. And it's just the only type of storytelling that can be done and appreciated in wrestling. And like I don't have the words to describe like the emotional like resonance of the screen to me. Seth versus Roman, and there's like 10 years of stuff. This is why I love wrestling.
You got it. You got it. That's taking the history of the history between these two guys and compressing into a match. And you get that raw emotion and that following for these 10 years that you followed it, and it pays off here, and you're just like, damn, yes, yes. That's how wrestling is supposed to be. And we don't have that as much anymore. You don't get that as much anymore. And when you see it, it's so great to get something like that because we rarely get it as much as we used to. And I definitely can understand why you felt that. And I did too. I loved it. I loved the crowd getting it. I loved the crowd cheering. A guy who is technically a heel, who is, and then cheering him, and then Roman recognizing that and going apeshit and going off on him to sell it more.
Yeah, because Roman's been getting cheered, so like he's getting, for the most part, he's been getting cheered.
Well,
And then
ended.
Seth,
That ended like that.
and then the crowd's booing him and saying Roman
He-
sucks,
he-
and he was like having flashbacks, and oh my
Yeah,
gosh, just
that like that,
the dripping
like
of the
that. It was just
storytelling,
Yes.
boom.
shivers.
He went back to this. Went back to Roman of this is Roman of 2016. At the crowd booing.
It's just yeah, I know.
It went
All
back,
right,
Which is great for the character, to be honest, because he needed the heel
Perfect.
heat.
which is great for the character because he lost his shit on
Exactly.
Seth, right? You know, he choked him out for like
Yeah.
what 90 seconds or so, and then he did chair shot, left the ring, came back for more chair shots, and then he took out his anger and frustration
Now-
on Brock as well. So
Yeah. Now you have this. Now you have something, like you said, now you have something here moving forward. You have Seth who can still troll in front of him. You still can't beat me in the big match. I beat you.
WWE
lost.
make that the
You can't beat me.
WrestleMania match.
Then you have Brock. Then you have Brock who's going to come in. He's pissed. He's going to try to kill everybody.
Heck, you could do
Brock
that
is gonna murder somebody on
2015
SmackDown.
rematch
You know,
between
he's-
the three of them.
Oh!
Mic drop.
You just drop the mic drop. Yep.
I mean, I would like
Oh
to see
my
it.
That's out. We're at it.
Brock. You forget Brock never really got his revenge on that too. He's still pissed. He's probably still pissed.
Make it happen,
Brock
WWE.
looked at
Triple
Seth
threat
like,
rematch.
I remember
All right.
that.
Let's get out of here.
You just did it. Oh, let's go. Go home, son. Go. We
All
can't get any better than that. Let's go home.
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
we are home.
So you
Let's
can
just leave.
find us at
Stage left.
OccupyProWrestling.com. It's got our videos, it's got our blogs, it's got all of our stuff. It's our website. You can check us out at the socials above James Head, at Power, the number 2, the Smarks, on the Twitter, on the Twitch, on here on YouTube, and on Instagram,
and on TikTok.
OnlyFans.
No, no. Good lord.
Not yet.
Oh no, we ain't going that far.
No.
We ain't going that far yet.
When
No,
we
we ain't
get
going there.
larger
No.
audience, maybe.
No.
Good lord.
No.
All right.
But yes, we are on the TikTok.
We ain't there
We're
yet.
on the TikTok. That's the
We're
one
on
I was
TikTok.
thinking of. I don't know
We
why.
did Tiki
I
and the
just
Taki.
threw out, you know.
Well, at
We're
least we
on-
know where your
we're
head's
on
at, Chris.
Parler.
But anyways, you can, yeah.
We're everywhere. We're everywhere
yeah.
the social media can be.
So yeah, that'll do it for us. Have a good night, everybody. We'll catch you guys on the next one. So long.